your CIGTV News Update. I'm Donna Bush. Glad you could join us. The team behind the Georgetown Revitalization Project on Thursday evening made a presentation to Georgetown business owners and residents on the city as it once was, what it is today, and what could be the future. Deputy Chief Officer from the Ministry of Planning, Mr. Tristan Hides, explains more.
This is about us, not about us, but us. And we really are passionate about it. We want to see Georgetown come back. I think many of you have fond memories of it, what it was like. I'm from West Bay, but my dad being who he was, I guess my second home was Georgetown. And so I have very good memories of it. I don't claim to think that I want to go back to that. Actually, I really don't. But what I do want to do is learn and build from what they had, because what they did have was a town that was sustainable and vibrant. And somewhere in the, I'd probably say 90s, we started to lose that and slowly regress. And I think now what we have to do is find out and figure out how to bring it back, and bring it back that it's sustainable.
Manager of the Georgetown Project, Colin Lumsden, explained to attendees the full scope of the area where changes and improvements will be made to bring the city back to life.
Georgetown Revitalization Initiative has a very prescriptive area. This area is shown on the map that you see, and it's bounded to the north by Fish Shack, just below Borden Road. To the south, it's bounded by Eden Rock. To the east by Eastern Avenue, and to the west by Harbor Drive. It's approximately 200 acres, and we kind of chose this size to focus on because we wanted something that was realistic in terms of handling. Just looking at the different characteristics, looking at the size of the city, we felt that this was a good area for us to move on and have realistic expectations. So we felt these boundaries are feasible in terms of the things we want to do. So that's mainly the reason why we chose it.
The Georgetown Revitalization team have looked at all aspects of the project, including problems that now exist and solutions to these issues of concern. The evening was interactive, with attendees having the ability to access a live interactive app and being able to ask questions and get answers right away. You can watch the entire presentation here on CIGTV late next week on a date to be announced. Finally, Grand Cayman liquor license holders, including those with music and dancing licenses, are being reminded of the upcoming annual liquor licensing meeting in early September. The deadline for applications is August 10th. To renew a license, persons should submit a completed application form for each location and license, along with a licensing fee for each category. Applications should be returned to the business licensing counter on the first floor of the Government Administration Building. Forms can be downloaded from the Department of Commerce and Investment website, which is dci.gov.ky. For more information, you can contact Officers Shalise Jeffrey on 244-2202 or Simone Morgan on 244-2097. Well, if you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us, wishing you a safe and, of course, a very wonderful weekend, and hoping you'll join me back here again next week. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department, as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know your mailing address details on your land register must be up to date in order to receive notices on new development which may impact you? Visit Lands and Survey Department to check your mailing address is correct.